Morning.
Hello, everybody! Welcome to the second episode of the HighSchooler's podcast. So, the thing with this episode is that to people who are watching this and who don't know, like, where I've been, this video is probably early, but to me, this video is like 2 weeks late, maybe even a little over that. Um,
Now he's playing Temtem.
yeah.
Cool.
Um, so I went on that vacation already. And it's been like 2 weeks since, and I just never got to edit in the video because I'm the king of procrastination. Get over it. We're going into a little more of a chillaxed environment while also playing a more, a less casual game than Minecraft. But we'll talk about the game a little bit, but in a minute, But so
We gotta
I'm
get some stuff out of the
I
way first.
I'm joined by my co-host, Toast, or
Hi, that's me.
in the game is Depressed Toasty,
Depressed Toasty
and I myself is
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 yeah
is
is
is Boss Man,
very
or
grammatically
yeah,
talented.
I'm insane. I pop off in the English language, okay? Um, IRL, my name is Damon, and Mr. Toasty over here is Dylan. So
Yes,
just to clear,
sir.
obviously, any confusion for later in the podcast. And the game that we're playing currently is Risk of Rain 2, which, if if you haven't played it, obviously, I mean,
Go play it
go
right
play it.
now.
It's very fun. Just kind of get to
Obviously, listen to us in the background, but like play it.
yeah, but yeah, exactly. It's very fun to play. You kind of just kill shit, buy chests, and upgrade and go along.
Buy
It's
stuff, kill shit. It's not like GTA though,
right.
even though
It's
it's the
not.
same
Yeah, it's
premise.
a different kind of kill shit, buy stuff kind of thing. But you kind of just get to go along, um, and collect loot and get better throughout the run. And it's just if you're playing drizzle mode like we are, it's very chillax. But monsoon is it's
Monsoon
more,
is a
yeah, it's a trip. It's
you you actually need to focus.
right. Like I'm not completely focused, but I got the wrong item. I just gotta try tip dagger instead of crit goggles. So
Nice.
if we end up playing this game more for background, then you'll learn what all these things that we're saying means. But um, for any commentary confusion, a white item is common, greens are rare, lunars are blue, boss drops are yellow, and the legendary
Legendaries are
items,
red.
yeah. So if we ever get like two
If we ever
legendaries in a
get a
row,
legendary, we're gonna freak out.
yeah,
So
we're gonna
just
sound a little excited. We're gonna have an epic gamer moment, and just be prepared for that, along with my stuttering.
expect the unexpected.
Exactly.
Except we told you to expect it, so expect
Yeah.
it.
So yeah, hopefully you will. um, so since Dylan died in the last episode, he has
Yep.
been
I've
reincarnated.
been resurrected. Should we talk about how you resurrect the dead?
Um, it's a long story, but it's Frankenstein, tons of stitches, lots of lightning. Anyway, while I lost Dylan for an entire episode, but my other co-host Jake has mysteriously disappeared. So I'm down a co-host again.
I'm telling you, it's the birds, dude.
It's the birds. They aren't real,
The
man. They're
bird,
telling lies.
dude. They are so fake. He was just too good at Fortnite.
Yeah, he was too cracked, and now the birds are after him. So
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 good at making 90s, they made him architect.
exactly. So we are planning on doing like a religious and political episode, but we want to wait for Jake for those. So
Because that's how it's going to be interesting.
right, because he's more he's not politically he might be a little more than me, I would say, especially on the religious side. But I know you're listening to this, Ari, but I would want you to be on because I know you're very uh, wealthy in the knowledge of that is religion and stuff like that. Mainly because he goes to a Catholic school, but he would be very
Nothing against Catholics.
of course,
Just
yeah, just just goes to
We learned science. Sorry.
yeah. Whoops.
That's probably rude, but hey. I'm in
um,
high school. What are you gonna do? Sue me?
yeah,
Yeah, you
exactly.
probably could. Alright,
Maybe. Um,
I'm gonna start this.
all right, sounds good. But fuck, I lost my train of thought. We're gonna go for more like chillax kind of vibe for this one. Less,
Talk about regular
last
stuff.
our first pod had 4 people, and
Screaming death. No,
yeah,
not really. There was more death in it than there was anything else, seeing as
right,
I died at the end.
yeah, there's that. Um,
If you missed that, go back and check it out.
yeah, go for it.
It was really
Uh,
important.
luckily he was able to respawn, but
Yeah, I respawned.
um, but this one we were down 2 people, so there's not 4 people going back and forth all the time, which is always easier on
It'll
me.
be more uniform, but it'll probably be more boring at the same time.
True. Yeah, there won't be as
Chaos is
many.
fun sometimes.
Yeah, there won't be as much bantering going back and forth between 4 people than there is 2 people, or vice versa. I mean, but the there's really no topic, I guess. We kind of, other than like we could talk about my vacation and what happened and stuff. But um, I went to Outer Banks, which is a beach in North Carolina. Um, super super beautiful place. Obviously, it's a beach. It's kind of hard to screw that up, honestly. But
Hashtag not sponsored.
yeah, but we had it was like 3 families in like my mom's side of the family, and we a lot of time we kind of just hung out in the house, and then pretty much every day we went to the beach, except for I think the last day, because the last day was the 4th of July, and then it would have also been a Saturday, so the beach would have been absolutely packed, and it would have been hard to actually do anything. Without and of
And
course,
also, packed areas are not good in our Backstreet Boys reunion tour.
true, true. Any lovelies out there will get that, but uh, yeah, for the Rona, it would have not been okay for to go to a super packed area, but it was still tons of fun. Got to experience the waves and stuff. There was one day where there was a storm the previous day, and I'm telling you, those waves were like 7 feet tall,
Nice.
and you
Did
could
you go
like
surfing?
we had a boogie board, but
Oh, okay.
you can really go far with it, but I
Right.
I kind of learned how to get on it. You have to like right when the wave like crashes on itself, that you have to like kind of get on it at an angle.
When it like folds or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, when it like folds, kind of like in like the surfer movies, whenever like it goes in like that big cone that they ride through.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's basically that, but I was able to do it on the last day, or on the last like 2 days probably. I went through. I did it like on my with no board, just my body, and that was really fun because you got the wave kind of just was able to just take you. So,
Right.
um,
I've seen the videos of like people water skiing without the skis on their feet, and I've always wanted to do that. I thought that looked
that
cool as
looks
hell.
yeah, it looks very interesting, but I would bet it's painful on your footsies.
Probably. But like, hey, the bottom of your foot, like that builds up such callus from like you walking
Oh
around
yeah,
and being on it all day long. So,
yeah. Have you ever seen like
excuse me.
this is kind of a sidebar, but have you ever seen like not yeah, I guess like disgusting foot, like not repair, but like people having to take care of it because like the
I've
skin's built
seen
up so much.
a marathonist's foot after like a 26-kilometer run, and it was
Yikes!
like purple and
Ugh,
bent. Yeah,
that's that's pretty bad.
yeah.
um, so it's like, I think it's called a corn. It's like when a bunch of skin gets built up into one spot, and you kind of get
Oh yeah.
like a spherish kind of looking thing on your foot.
Hmm.
Um, that that's I guess the whole like water skiing without the skis kind of thing would help if you had, not if you had that, but like if you just had a built up a skin kind of similar to that.
Right.
Um, but anyway, back to beach time. Legendary, by the way.
Yep.
Um, the my cousins Brock and Ryder are like they're both like six. I think Ryder's like 6'6" and Brock is probably like 6'5". But uh, they were there was like the waves were probably like 7 or 8 ish feet because it had to have been like 2 feet above their head, and I'm not tall myself. I'm like 5'6" ish, and they were like they were wicked. Like usually you could just kind of
Huh.
like float a little bit and have like a little hover over the wave, but I'm telling you, you had to really jump if you want to get over it. So most of the time I kind of just ducked under it, but
Right.
it was tons of fun.
It sounds it.
Oh yeah, because you could just like if you get it at like the right time, you go like almost to shore, and you kind of just get it's like a weird it's like a water slide, but you're not sliding. You're just kind of
You're
getting
not sliding. You're just like floating on the water
yeah
or
yeah,
something.
and you get to like peek at the top and be like, I see no one up here except for me. It's amazing. Um,
Just feel like king of the world, and you're just like, ha,
yeah,
losers.
exactly. Um, but that
I
was
have a story about a beach.
oh boy, I would love to hear it.
Okay, so Sunday, I went over to my girlfriend's house and we chilled for a bit, and then we decided to go to the beach before it rained. Um, so I love being in the water. I'm a fish, not actually, but like metaphorically.
Pog, Dylan's a fish.
So I love being in the water. I get out, I go to dry off, I get a towel, and her brother Jesse finds a 3-inch round spider crawling around in the
uh,
sand.
uh,
My arachnophobia is terrible.
oh, same.
If I see a spider, I'm on the other side of the continent as
Yeah,
fast as I can be.
yeah, mine's pretty bad too. It's just I feel like
Yeah.
anything with more than 7 legs is automatically
Anything with
demon
more than
spawn.
4 legs, you're just like, oh, okay, go
It's
hell,
it's
go to
actually
hell.
demon spawn. It's just straight demon spawn. I don't care what you say. It's not allowed. But
So yeah, that happened, and then I refused to go back in the water. I refused to go back on the sand. I was like, okay, the entire spider's family lives under this beach. I'm convinced.
hold on, just make a quick like time check. What time is it right now? I just want to make sure that we're not gonna go like
It
way over time.
is 9:16,
9:16. Okay, we'll shoot for like 10. Um,
10
like
ish.
10ish, because it's been a few minutes already, obviously.
Hmm.
Um, but similar to what not well, they kind of look like spiders, but crabs. So
Right.
there are like ghost crabs all over the Outer Banks beach, and you can whenever we would chill before we were going into the ocean, you could like
Hmm.
you could see them come out of like the hole that they dig, and then they just like they chuck sand out. But then my uncle Tommy found like a thing where if you dig your foot into the sand close enough to the water and you pull it out, anybody with tryptophobia would have to leave because it's like holes would start to form above your foot, like in the sand, and like
Oh no.
little guys would like come out and like little buggies,
No,
and
no, no.
it was I did it a couple times. It's pretty weird. You don't feel them on your feet, but they try to my my uncle Tommy, same person obviously.
Right.
He took he got one of them like in his hand, and the little guy tried to like burrow himself in his hand
Oh, that's cool.
because he thought it was sand still,
Right.
obviously because he's like a little bug. He didn't know, but it was very interesting seeing. And by the way, they were along the entire beat, the entire like shoreline. It wasn't just like, oh, this one spot. It was the entire thing. And whenever you would step, you
Hmm.
couldn't feel them. They were like just barely under enough to where you couldn't feel them. So,
Right.
but
Huh.
yeah, it was very it was
That
very
would that would be something that freaks me out.
yeah.
Like I would see one and I'd be like, wait, these are all over the beach. I'd look down and I'd see like 50 in a pile, and I'm just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
I'll stick to Taco Bell parking lots.
um,
I don't know what the significance of Taco Bell
yeah.
parking lots was. That was just the first thing I thought of.
um, the there was I'm trying to think.
That got us $3.
Well, anyway, we also went like shell hunting and found a. I don't know why, but Brock was really good at finding shells, like almost full ones too, like very close to being the exact form. I also just now learned what the hell shells are. They're like they're like a buildup of callus on animals that obviously had them and then died.
Right.
Or not callus, it's like calcium. That's why I thought of that.
Yep.
Um, and they um, they're pretty cool to find, and some of them I honestly just kept as like because they're like really smooth, and they're kind of like not oddly shaped, but they're like kind of like triangle-y shaped-ish, and you can
Right.
kind of just like fiddle with them. So I just kind of like I would have them in my hand, and I would like twiddle like them around my fingers all the time,
Yep.
which
It's
was
cool seeing all the like the shapes in nature, like the triangles
yeah.
and polygons and stuff.
Um,
You never put really any thought into it until you see it, and you're like, "Whoa, that's neat."
yeah, like you could see like well, what was really cool about the shells was there's like this really obviously because there's all different species of shells because they're from this
Right.
certain animal, but I think my favorite one is like this little like yellowish color, but then when you flip it under, I guess if it's like I guess it just depends on like the genetics of the like that certain one.
Mm-hmm.
There can be like a purpley color under it, and it's really cool looking.
Ooh.
So it's like it doesn't go like to blue to purple. It's just straight purple, and then it's like kind of whitish yellow.
Oh, neat. Okay.
It looks very cool, and and my favorite one that I had was like a it was one of those, but it didn't have any purple on it unfortunately. But it was it's a very nice looking little shell. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Surprisingly, like there's a black shell. I think it's just called like a sand dollar, I think, but they're like very easy to find full for some reason.
Oh,
Like
that's cool.
it's like you could just kind of like tell how full it was gonna be by like looking at like the very bottom of it, because
Mm-hmm.
usually like for some reason just the top was never the first to be damaged. It was always the bottom.
Oh, okay.
So
Makes sense.
yeah, um, but it was just I don't even know how to explain it. It was just really neat to look at. But oh, and at the back at the beach house, we got to there was like a TV and it had Netflix and Roku on it. I swear I have never watched so many movies in 1 week. Because we would sit there and we would just watch movies, and then when we got done we'd be like, okay, which one's next? And then when it was
Right.
like super late at night, we would get to a point where it's like, okay, well the movies are too long to watch and not fall asleep to, so here, and they would give me the remote, and then I could put like on a YouTube video for the new one. Uh, I've also never watched so much JonTron in 1 week because there was nothing on, and I guess I found out that Brock and Ryder both liked him, so I was able to watch it, and I also watched Cody Co. I showed them a couple of videos because they hadn't watched him yet.
Mm-hmm.
He's super funny. Um, so that was pretty neat. I got to do that. Also, I just wanted to mention, Dylan, have you ever watched a movie called The Package?
I don't think so.
So, The Package. Anyone who is listening to this and knows what The Package is like they know it's about to go down story wise.
Okay.
It's a story about a kid. Well, these kids who go on like a camping trip, and
Mm-hmm.
it's one of those like kind of raunchy-ish movies that when like maybe if you're like it's like just barely like PG-13 at all. It's not PG-13 at all, by the way, but it's like very close to being PG-13.
Okay.
If the main plot wasn't so messed up, but
Right.
the plot is that they all go on this camping trip and they want to get drunk and everything. So
Mm-hmm.
and they're all like high schoolers. So they go and this one of the side characters gets like a I can't remember his name, but he gets a fake ID. Very clearly, not even a good fake ID. It's like doesn't look like him at all. But somehow the guy at the store falls for it, and They go in the woods, they get drunk, they party a little bit and everything. And then
Right.
that same character, who's not even the main character, um, he has this like a imaginary, not imaginary, what we believe to be a fake, like a catfishing girlfriend, because her name is like it's like very close to a celebrity's name. Like if it's like the equivalent of being like, guys, I have a girlfriend. Her name is Taylor Swifty, kind of thing.
Okay.
It's like a very, very close. I can't remember what celebrity the name is very close to, but um, it's like that. And
Right.
so I guess he just wants to send her a very, very flattering video. And he's drunk, so he's like pissing, and he's got a little pocket knife, and he's like, this knife is so sharp it can cut pee, and he's like slicing his piss. And it's really stupid. Probably this is the dumbest scene in the whole movie, and it's like the entire plot. Then his two friends, one of them is the main character, and one of them is another side character. Um, they decide it would be funny if they scared the shit out of him. So,
Oh, okay. I
so
can see where this is going.
yeah, exactly. So, he's like really talking up his his piss cutting knife. Yeah, you can start the boss if you want, but
All right.
he's like, this knife is so sharp it could cut pee or whatever. And then his friends are like, boo, and he's like, ah, and he cuts his dick off. It's so that's why it's called the package. And then
Oh my god.
they're like, oh my god, and then it's like it's very chaotic for the next like 5 minutes. Me, my cousin Maggie, and my cousins Brock and Ryder are Brock is laughing his ass off because he's seen the movie before. Me, Ryder, and Maggie are just like shaking our head, and me and Maggie are trying our best not to like just like it's just like not
I
easy to
thought you
look
could
at.
cut
Not easy to
pee.
watch. Also, they didn't blur the cut off penis, by the way, throughout this entire movie.
Oh Jesus.
It's like
Was it like good special effects too? So
it
like it
was
was
pretty
accurate.
good. It was pretty good.
Oh Jesus.
Um, but yeah, it was like this is when we were like, oh, it's one of these movies. Okay, yeah.
Uh,
Also, don't look at me real quick. I picked up 57 leaf clover, and my stuff turned golden.
Dude,
I
whoa.
never knew that would happen. I
I
never
gotta
knew
find
that.
a 57 leaf clover.
Yeah, I bet. Who are you playing as? You're playing Commando.
Yeah.
Um,
Wait, what if like the dark part of my uniform
yeah, it
turns
turns
gold?
gold
That would be neat.
because the edited part of my suit turned gold. So
Right,
I think
and
that's why
my
you want the
entire
skin.
suicide would
I think that's like the entire reason why you want the skin because I think legendaries would alter the skin. Anyway, sorry. Back to the story
be.
about this incredible movie, by the way.
About
Um,
dick cutters.
yeah, the absolute legendary story, but
Dude, I can cut
it
pee.
goes like very smoothly. You would think. It like he has to like so this the main character decides he takes everyone's phones and he asks everyone for the passcodes and he goes to where there's service because they're on a camping trip and like way in the forest and
Mm-hmm.
they call 911. They finally get it to come through and the paramedics show up. They put they have two coolers and they put like they have like their beer or whatever in like one cooler and they put the severed phalange in the other one. We're doing bird, by the way, obviously.
Yep.
Um, and they, like I said, they take the severed phalange, they put it in that cooler to keep it. I don't know. I can't remember why. I can't remember the exact science behind it. I think it just makes it so that it doesn't rot. But um, then the paramedics like come down and okay, another quick sidebar. There something does go wrong. They basically explode a little propane tank thing because they think that the guys didn't see him, and it's like pointless. But the guy who already had his dick cut off, like he gets like his leg starts to burn, but they put it out.
Oh, okay.
It's a really stupid scene. But well, this whole movie is just one
This
compiled
whole the
stupid
whole
scene.
movie sounds like a shit show.
Yeah. So the guys come down, they give him the cooler, and they go off. And then they're like, all right, well, our friend is safe, so he's in the hospital. And they're about to, do the surgery. And then, of course, the movie's cut this way. the paramedics and everyone open. They both open both coolers at the same time. The phalange is not with the paramedics. It's with the kids still. They gave him the wrong cooler. So they
Nice.
gave the paramedics beer instead of the phalange. um.
At that point, you just say fucking crack it open.
Oh yeah, dude. And
It's like,
so
yeah, you
now
got a
so now
beer.
get this. This is where the movie title starts to get good. The package.
What does he have to do? Like ship his dick?
They have to deliver the package. They have to deliver his package as a package to the doctors.
Oh my god.
It's an amazing title. Whoever did it deserved the
I.
raise. And it's this whole story. It's long story short. Wait, never mind. Not so short. The dick gets put on the wrong person first. Then a crazy girlfriend who cut that guy's dick off comes back and rips it off again.
Ouch.
And then they take that to the actual person because when and they couldn't find him, by the way, in the hospital. They had to go to like 3 different hospitals, and they finally found somebody who needed a penis. And um the
Sorry, you in need of a dick.
exactly, dude. Stupid shit. And they they get it to the right person, but because the kid had the fake ID on him, it wasn't under his real name.
Oh.
So they had to. It was like, it was such a. Oh my god. But anyway, if you ever are on Netflix and need to watch a show and you don't feel like having any more brain cells, just watch The Package.
Dude, that sounds amazing.
Also, if you want to make it better, watch it with your friends because it is funny. It's funny as hell. Don't. Oh wait, never mind. Don't. I thought it was the boss fight for some reason.
Yeah, no.
But the it was just like, wow, this is a
It's just like
stupid
one of
movie.
those what the fuck movies.
Yeah, it was kind of like Hangover, but not really. It wasn't Hangover, kind of like retarded.
It wasn't Hangover.
Yeah.
It was Hangover dumb.
Yeah, I got another legendary, by the way. I'm insane.
Okay.
Um.
By the way, Damon's luck in this game is stupid.
Uh-huh.
Like, there was one run, he had like 8
I had like
legendaries
8
before
legendaries.
you already had even one.
It was pretty incredible. I'm just that good, dude. Totally not entirely luck based. Anyway. It is a. You almost feel like you're
Somewhat
watching Hangover. You almost feel like you're watching it. But then you get to like the end and you're like, oh no, never mind. These are kids, not like grown-ups who are being
right.
absolutely stupid. But it's the whole movie's a trip. It's just a trip. And I like that was probably the most memorable movie we watched that day. Or not even that day, that entire trip, because it was just that depressingly bad.
It was just
not
that.
bad. It's not even a bad kind of bad. It's a good kind of bad. And the movie production was good, but the entire movie plot and jokes were just like, oh my god, this is stupid. So stupid. But it's fantastic at the
I'm
same
starting
time.
this.
Alrighty. Oh my god.
Worm.
That's probably the dumbest movie I've ever watched. What's your like number one like dumbest movie?
Stupid movie?
Yeah.
Scary Movie 5.
I
Scary
have
Movie
not
5
watched
for
that,
sure.
but I kind of been wanting to watch it.
Scary Movie, I think like 3 was actually like scary.
Oh, okay.
Scary Movie 5.
It was a joke up until 3.
No, 3. 1. I haven't seen the first couple. 3 I know was like scary. Maybe it wasn't 3. I don't know.
You
3.
would
I'm
think
just
it
gonna
would
say it
be.
was 3. I'm just
Actually,
gonna say
you'd
it's
think they
3.
all would be, but
Scary Movie 5 was stupid. It was funny. There were elements of horror, like at the end, like some lady had to like kill herself to like save her children or whatever. Like the plot was messed up, but like
mm,
it was just goofy all around.
Right. Sorry.
Should we talk about like our favorite movie or something?
I guess, yeah.
All
So far,
All
I
right. So the
think.
package, basically.
So the package on another rundown. Um,
Dick slice.
yeah.
With two cut
There.
feet.
Hold on. Before I explain what my favorite movie is, there was a scene where they had to steal a boat from a dad, and he wasn't around at the time, but his kid was,
Oh
and
no.
so they're like, hey, we need to use your dad's boat. Would that be okay? And they're like being polite. And the four people that went on this trip are, or no, five people, two girls, three guys. The main character, um, the guy who obviously
Gets his
had
wiener chopped.
a big oopsie. Um,
Big oop.
that guy, his sister, and then the other character who isn't the main character nor the unfortunate beholder of pain. Uh, his ex girlfriend. So two girls. Just honestly, I don't know how to describe it. Go back and hear me explain it again, like I'm a drunken idiot. Just try to process it again. That's probably the best I can do. But they they're all being polite. I had to mention there are two girls in this, by the way. But
Mhm.
uh they ask him polite, and he's like, "Nah, man, what the?" And she's like swearing his head off, dude. And he's like, that's. He's like, this is, and he's like, "I want to see some real shit." And he's like talking like to the girls,
Right.
and they're like, "No, we're not showing you our boobs." And then he's like, "Boobs? What am I 8? I want to see some real shit." And I'm like, and I am like crying, dude. This is like, how did they allow this kid to say this? By the way, this kid in the movie, IRL, looks like he could be like 10. But he's
Nice.
playing like, I think he's playing like an 11-year-old maybe. Like maybe just like a little around his age, but not exactly his age.
Right.
Um but I was absolutely crying. Oh my god, I was losing my shit. But uh that was but then they were like, this is like my favorite scene in the entire movie. Actually, that's debatable, but still, this is an incredible scene. The main character uh, was. Oh God, I don't know if I can explain this whole thing because there has to be so much backstory. But um, they they like the kid like is obviously acting like a little peckerhead.
Right.
So that they're like, all right, you know what? Fine, and they take the phalange out of the cooler, and they go, listen here, kid, this is my friend's penis, and if we need to get back to him or else he'll die or whatever, and
Right.
he's like traumatized, obviously, and he's like, and they're like, see where I'm from? They if you mess around, your your dick gets cut off, and it's like, oh my god, this movie is so stupid. But but then the kid's dad comes back while they're still in the boat, and he's like, hey son, what you doing? And he goes, dicks get cut. And it's like, oh my god, traumatized. But when I think of, I just thought I'd mention that because that was my favorite scene out, one of my favorite scenes out of the entire movie. It's just so stupid. But I think when I think of like favorite movie, the first one that comes into my head is like Venom,
Oh, okay.
because that one's really good. And I also like when
Right.
after I found out that the entire thing was just Photoshop,
Mhm.
I appreciated it like way more.
Huh. Okay.
So, but what about yours?
Um, I don't know if you'll know this movie. Other people might. It's called The Art of Racing in the Rain.
No, I do not know that one.
About this guy. He's a Ferrari like F1 racer. He races cars for his job. Um, he decides to adopt a dog, and basically it's told from the dog's point of view through the guy's life and through the dog's life. So like the dog is obviously confused when it's young. Is like, why does he want to see me go poop?
That's pretty good. I never thought about
But
that.
like it gets real. Like the the guy gets married. He has a daughter,
Okay.
and his wife ends up getting cancer and dies.
Wow.
So the dog has to go through that, and the dog's there to comfort the family, comfort the little girl.
Right.
Then something happens with his wife's parents, and they try to take custody of the daughter. So the dad's going through all this court stuff.
Wow. Okay.
Um, and the dog is making decisions. So like there was a time when I forget what his name was. The dog's name was Enzo because of the creator of Ferrari, obviously.
Oh, okay.
But I forget who the guy's name was, but he had papers in his hand and he was like about to go resign to the court. He was like, "Yeah, no, they can have my daughter. I give up. It's too much or whatever."
Right.
He's like, "I can't handle all of this at once." The dog
Okay.
full on bursts out of the kitchen, grabs the papers and tears them up in the backyard.
Wow.
Baller move by
Kind of
Pupper
pog.
Dog.
Kind of pog puppy dog, dude. Um, that's kind of like a
It was a dog movie, so obviously it
right.
ended with the dog dying,
Aw.
sadly.
All
But okay, so at
all
the
dog
end,
movie. Here, wait. I just want to mention real quick.
yeah, no,
All dog movies that aren't for kids are always sad.
this one actually wasn't sad, like right until the end,
Oh, okay.
but it actually got made up for. The guy was kept feeling like the dog was gonna be like reincarnated because his soul was so powerful, and obviously he
Okay.
was like a Ferrari driver, so he had fan meetups and stuff. He actually became like really good, and like he won several championships or something.
Hmm.
And one guy came up and he wanted his son to get driving lessons, and guess what his son's name was?
Kenzo.
Enzo. Yeah.
Oh, I said Kenzo. Oops. Not a
Freaking
YouTuber.
little man.
Oopsie. um,
No, Enzo.
Enzo.
And
Wow.
he the guy, I can't remember his name for the life of me, but he was like, "You remind me of an old friend. I'll give your son driving lessons for free or whatever."
Wow.
And it's just a really wholesome movie because like the dog came back in a kid form and like
That's cool.
pupper dog.
That's an amazing way to do that. Actually, I've never like
It was a
heard of that
really good
happening. Um, I also watched Ant Man for the first time. Uh,
You've never seen Ant-Man?
actually, I didn't even see the first one. I think I saw the second one for the first time. Yeah, because I know I know it was the second one because at the end he gets trapped in the van, which is how we get to
Okay,
Infinity
yeah.
War. Um, but yeah, I've never seen the first Ant Man. I only saw the second one, and it was just
Wow.
because my my cousins were like, I want to see Ant Man too, and I was like, okay, I don't really care. I'm just I'm just here to watch and stuff like that. I'm just here to hang, and
I'm just vibing.
I'm just vibing over here. Uh, so uh, that was a fairly I don't want to say like interesting because that kind of underballs it a little bit. I
Right,
like the
obviously.
movie a lot. I think it was very easy to like keep watching the movie. Sometimes
Hmm.
I have problems with movies and I'll not like them being bad. Just I have a tough time
You
like
lose
sitting.
interest.
Yeah, I have a tough time like sitting down and really just like fully like watching for all the
Engaging
time.
into
Yeah,
it.
it like drains my brain, dude. It's just like
Right.
after a while, but you know, Ant Man was very easy, and that's one of the reasons why I liked Venom, along with the
Hmm.
fact that I just love Spider Man, and that was like I have never seen like Venom in like the light of being the hero kind of thing,
Right.
and after that movie did that, I was like, wow, he might be
Hmm.
my
Yeah.
favorite like hero slash villain because I always thought he was just villain.
Yeah,
I didn't
that's what
think
everyone was like. It was like, oh, it's
right
Venom. Well, he's bad.
right. So I never thought that I had never thought that Venom was a like an independent like hero.
Hmm. Hmm.
He was either bad or good or whatever, just for whatever he only cared about him. Not only cared about himself, but he did whatever he wanted to. Um, I can't remember. I don't. I don't remember why him and Spider-Man hate each other. Oh no, I think Venom hates Spider-Man because he used to have the Venom suit,
Hmm.
and then it's like I don't know, he had resentment towards him or whatever. But and first he was in Deadpool, and that's a whole like tangent or whatever. But
That's another
yeah,
hero.
The end of Venom was cool though. We got to see the teaser for the Carnage movie.
Oh yeah.
Cause I can't even remember his name, but I used to remember his name because I was so interested in it. But you see him in a jail cell talking to the user of Venom, and
Hmm.
it was really nice to see uh, that sort of thing go down, and it was and me and the person I watched it with, we were like, what is it? What does it mean? And it was we were so happy, we were so stoked. The person who watched it didn't enjoy the movie as much, but I was absolutely adoring it. But um, anyway, uh, when I that dog story reminded me of like because like wholesome movies. I
Yeah.
genuinely can't think of like wholesome movies that I've watched.
Hmm.
I well maybe I've watched Where the Red Fern Grows before, and that one's obviously really
Right.
sad. But
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that one. I watched that one with my cousins a couple times.
Yeah. The only movies I watch are like action or
Or action or what?
horror movies, like
Okay.
spooky, scary stuff.
Spoopy doops.
Spoop.
Spoops. I'm I don't I feel like I only watch action or like superhero stuff because I would say that I watch comedy things, but it's almost never in my own like volition to watch them. Like I've never been like, oh yeah, let's watch a comedy movie. And someone else
Right.
has always been like, we're watching a comedy movie, and I'm like, okay, cool. Like if I had to choose, I think I'd watch a superhero movie over a comedy, and then it's because
Hmm.
there's comedy sprinkled in with the action and stuff because it's
Right.
superhero stuff. But um,
Because Marvel is just amazing.
yeah. Um, so was there any like things you had on the top of your head for movie things that you wanted to mention?
Um. Were there? Oh. So, any movies you were like going to see at the movie theater on release, and you were just disappointed in it?
I'm not. I've never I've never been the type of person to go to a movie on release. I
Really?
have never done that before because I've always been like, I don't want to go to a place that's fully packed with people and then,
Right.
but then again, there's also that like you don't want it to get spoiled.
Mm-hmm.
So even if it is bad,
Yeah.
like
Like I went to
you
the
avoid it.
premiere of Endgame,
Okay,
and Endgame was really good. Obviously, I'm not disappointed in Endgame. It was a
right.
really good movie.
I love that movie.
Um, I went to see Fantasy Island with Riley,
Hmm.
and like we were expecting like this whole like mystery thing, like, oh, why are there fantasies coming true? And it was just like, yeah, no, this island is cursed, and it I drank water and I'm cursed.
Okay. All right.
And it's like the stupidest plot. It was like it was well done, obviously, but like the plot, I felt like it led people on. You were like, oh, it's gonna be like this whole mystery thing, like these people are
Yeah.
gonna be rogue or whatever, and like no, it's the same scenario happening 14 different
Oh,
ways.
nice. Um, when I had something for this because I was just thinking about it because you mentioned it. Um, oh, I have a bad experience with having too much hope in like not poorly, but just above average rated animes.
Okay.
Like on Crunchyroll, there's this one called Inspector, and it looks
Mm-hmm.
like this like horror kind of like romancy-ish kind of thing where like there's like a house full of like haunted people or whatever, and this couple has to like run away or I don't know, just like solve mysteries or something like that.
Basic anime plot.
Kinda, yeah. And it looks like it should be really good, and then out of for people who aren't Crunchyroll weebs, um, I the rating was like I think it was like a 3.7 out of
Out of
5,
five.
but the thing with like Crunchyroll is that because it's out of 5 and there are a lot of people who will watch the first episode, hate it, and then rate it like 0. So like there
Right.
is like no anime that is truly a 5.0. The highest I've ever seen was like a 4.8, and I think that was like It might have been the Rising of the Shield Hero actually, which is the one I'm on currently, which is a really good one. Um, but I was like, 3.7 isn't that bad. It can't be the worst. So I watched it. It's pretty bad. And it's like, because so then right away the ads are like a throw off, and it's like you look at it and it's like it's like more like a mystery murder kind of thing, and then it gets to a spot where like they're trying to like cure this ghost of like their haunted past or whatever, and then that one fight sequence goes on for 4 episodes.
What?
For 4 episodes.
That's like watching a dream manhunt video.
Yeah, it's like um they what they it was such a like poorly and like boringly formatted thing. They were like, okay, well, there are these 4 solutions that we could possibly do. Okay, we're gonna take the entire episode to execute one at a time before probably the fourth one works, or a
Jeez.
combination of all 4 works or whatever. And the only part that I didn't like, I think about it, was that the main character, the girl who can like see ghosts or whatever and can solve mysteries, in order for her to like solve some of the mysteries, she had like bullshit stuff. She had like make things up instead of
What?
actually finding out like what happened. Like she, like the way that she had to make the ghost go away was that because since it was like it was a make believe ghost, like someone made up the idea of the ghost. So then so
Right.
many so many people believed in it that the ghost actually came to life.
Oh, that's cool.
So, which I like that concept. That's a pretty good concept. But then the way that she had to defeat that ghost was by like convincing enough people online that that wasn't the way that the way that the thing was described isn't like that. And it's like she but instead of being like, no, this person made up a thing, and then they had to do this and that and whatever, and they had to convince the people that it was a fake post by someone who, in a long anime story, through like 3 episodes of just straight watching and being like, okay, yeah, and you, it's like just complicated and stuff like that. But it's like, but then she has to bullshit like the evidence that she has, and it's like, why?
That's
That's so
dumb.
lame. You turned it into a murder mystery that isn't a murder mystery. Also, there's 4 episodes for one fight scene. It's like ugh. It's so.
Have you ever watched Phoenix Wright?
I have not. No.
You haven't? Okay, so the anime, not the games. The games are good. The anime is really cool.
Okay.
Um, it's really dramatic. Like they're in the court, and he like points his finger, and like a tornado comes out and knocks everything in
Oh.
the
Is this
courtroom.
that meme? The judge.
The judge is like, and you're just like, objection.
Yeah, that guy.
That's yeah, that's
Oh,
Phoenix
okay,
Wright.
okay.
The anime is actually really cool. Like watching it and seeing like how all the stuff fits together.
Okay.
Because it's like stuff from 3 episodes ago will like affect what just
Oh.
happened or something.
All right.
I
Um.
watched that. They only did like 19 episodes, and then the rest was in Japanese with no subtitles
Oh, that
on
sucks.
YouTube, and you're just like, do I have to learn another language to do this?
um. Well, I guess speaking of which, me and Ari have been trying to learn
I'm on
Japanese.
the grind.
Not very. I'm not doing very good, but Ari is like he's keeping up with it at least a little bit. He said he's only doing like the bare minimum, but that
Right.
Duolingo like allows you to do in order to meet your goal. But I'm very bad at like keeping especially with stuff like Duolingo. Like I'm very bad at being like, yeah, I'll do my 10 minutes a day. Some days I'll just not
Right.
feel like it, but
And you're just like, yeah, I don't want to do it.
yeah, from like a couple of just like from watching a lot of anime and being a weeb, you learn a couple like stupid words like idiot is baka, and like
Hmm.
and like well, like everybody knows basically that arigato is like thank you, and like
Hmm.
arigato gozaimasu is thank you very much.
Right.
But that sort of thing is, I don't know, but it's all right. Like I'm further in it than Ari, but also Ari hasn't been doing as much as me. I got him into it like maybe a couple weeks, maybe not like, yeah, a couple weeks ago probably. Um,
Hmm.
but it just it's hard to keep up with for me at least. Like I'll have like stretches where I'm like, all right, I'm gonna learn like 3 new lessons in this one day because I'm so bored. And then one day and then it's like for like 2 weeks I'm like, nah, I'm good.
It's like, nah, I don't want to do it.
Exactly. I know you've been, or I don't know, you're kind of into like learning like I don't know how to describe it, but I know you know a little bit of like I think German and Russian.
I don't.
What's
Russian,
some?
I know like 4 words. I know like, hello, I'm a bear. Yeah, I started learning German in like 4th grade just out of the thought. I was like, huh,
Yeah.
German's a cool language.
Yeah, let's do that.
Like everyone knows Spanish, everyone knows French. Why
Yeah.
not learn
Some lame
German?
stuff.
I was like, I
Uh,
don't want to be an army.
yeah.
I didn't learn in 4th grade. I think it was 5th or 6th I started
Okay.
it.
I kind of at the same time started learning Japanese because I was like, I've always been interested in like the Japanese culture, and I've always been like, man,
Right.
that like the stuff that they've got going on over there is just like really unique, and I really like it. It's
Yo,
just really,
that's sick as frick, bro.
yeah, it's cool stuff, my guy, and just I and then I also started getting into anime, so it was like even more reason, obviously, to learn it.
Right.
But I started probably in like 7th grade on like a thing called like I want to Lingo
Rosetta
Deer. Lingo
Stone,
Deer.
bro.
It was called Lingo Deer, which is really weird because I think that might have been like the like beta version of like Duolingo,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know why because after I tried to get back on my same account, Lingo Deer was like, "Nah, you gotta pay." And then it was like, "Why?" So then I just got Duolingo, and it looks like the cover art of the thing is. By the way, you have chest. You have chest in this.
Okay.
Um, it was like the cover art of the app is like the same almost.
It's
So
an owl or something.
it's like a deer, but the owl and like it's like the same kind of like texture
Oh, the
drawing.
same kind of art
Yeah,
concept, yeah.
yeah. So I don't know, but it then I fell off of it. I got back into it, and somehow I still knew a couple of words. Like they, of course, there's like many like there's like a million different theories on how to teach like languages and stuff. But
Right.
I think the way that I got into it was I was learning Spanish, and hold on, excuse me. I just burped real quick, but the they I just got really good at like this one unit for some reason, and I kept like getting the answers right, and for some reason it was just like the dopamine was just like flooding through my brain like a tsunami, dude. It was so fun to like learn new words and stuff, and uh I was like, you know what, I'll get back into Japanese, and I did for like a couple weeks. I was like really learning a lot of things,
Huh.
like I like before like since I left like doing Lingo Deer, I did like I knew how to say like I am American, which is like watashi wa Amerika jin arimasen, which is
Mm-hmm.
something along those lines, and I still remember it just because I was like I need to remember it for no reason. And but now I know like red is aka, blue is au, and white is shido, like shido,
Yep.
and I don't know. It's just it's really fun to like learn new languages and see how like certain languages like will make you like use a different part of your mouth to pronounce words,
Yeah. Yep.
and it's really cool because like the Japanese language like for a lot of it it's like the very like the front like third of your mouth,
Oh,
and
that's cool.
it's like a lot of like a lot of like tori like it is bird.
Yeah.
It's like the very like the tip of your tongue kind of language. And
I started getting to like the where you position your mouth to make different sounds when I started looking or like getting deeper into like metal screaming and metal vocals.
right.
Because like obviously to do those burbly noises, you can't just like talk normally. You have to like tighten your vocal cords. You have to like
Right.
fold something in your throat or something. It's
Huh.
cool. It's confusing. And when you find someone who's really good at it, once you know like what you have to do and like
Oh,
how hard
okay.
it really is,
You
you're like, oh,
appreciate
that
it.
shit's impressive.
You really appreciate it, huh?
Yeah. Like I show you guys clips and stuff of like metal screamers all the time, and you guys are like, "Oh, that's cool." I'm really like, you don't understand
You
how
don't
hard
understand.
that is.
Yeah, okay. I'm now getting why that's like a thing that you like want to show us and stuff like
It's
that.
it's
Because it's very I already knew it was very impressive, but now that you kind of tell me that, I'm like, okay, it's
okay.
a little more
Literally,
impressive than I
so
thought it was.
I would watch vocal coach, like people who can like
Hmm.
coach people to do this stuff. They react to for instance, the song "Unanswered" by Suicide Silence. Phil Bozeman of Whitechapel, if anyone knows that band, I love you. Um, he did a cover of it with the band because the original vocalist had passed away. But
Oh.
the vocal coach reacted to it, and he was like, "Yeah, you caused the distortion in your cheeks, in your cheekbones." And I was
Oh.
like, "Huh?
What?
Where?"
Uh, I'm not learning German right now, am I? um, but yeah, that's like a.
It's interesting seeing like, because he talks about the vocal cords folding in your
That's really
throat,
cool.
and I was like, huh, "Wait, the fold?
The fold. There's
Dude,
a
my mouth's doing origami, bro."
there's a voice actor who I think his name is Kellen Goff.
Mm-hmm.
He did the voice for Sister Location Freddy for FNAF,
Yeah.
and he also did a voice for a League of Legends character. I think it's like a really weird spider thing.
Fiddlesticks.
Yeah, Fiddlesticks.
Yeah.
He did
And
that voice.
everyone's like, no, it's just got like
It's
30
got
filters on
yeah
it, and it's just the dude
it's
making the noise, and
actually
you're
his
like,
voice, and it's insane.
what?
It's so cool. Um, and it's after like that, after watching that video, I've always appreciated like voice acting, and I never realized that even like the very, I want to say, like cheesy kind of like sounds are like
Yeah.
also voice acting. Like
Mm-hmm.
like Bastion from Overwatch is a voice actor,
Zenyatta is a voice actor too.
and so is uh uh Hammond.
Mm-hmm.
He, a guy just makes hamster voices into a mic, and it's like,
Yeah,
wow,
it's
he's
interesting.
actually like paid to do really good hamster
I like
voices.
seeing the because like when you hear someone's voice, it like generally matches their face somewhat. You're like, I could see that. The voice
Right.
actor for Winston, no,
Yeah, no, you would not. You
no.
wouldn't think.
You're
You
like,
wouldn't think.
wait, you're Winston, dude. You, I would imagine you like,
Like a bigger guy.
yeah.
Yeah.
The voice actor for Roadhog is accurate.
Yeah, it's pretty accurate. And
I accidentally bought you Guillotine, Damon.
you bought me guillotine.
I bought you a Guillotine.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate
Happy birthday.
it. At some point, well, we're nearing the end of the podcast. I can tell just from the top right because it's 56 minutes.
Yep.
So we didn't even really need a timer, but I'm
Right.
glad that we kind of just went off on the like different tangents instead of just focusing on like my vacation kind of thing.
Right.
But
Shows that we can go off in different directions and
yeah,
still hold it.
yeah, we can
That's
still
dope.
hold the conversation. Um,
So basically, we went to a strip club in Poland this one time.
boy, that would be a
That's a hell of a story.
that's one hell of a story. If you guys don't
We
watch
didn't
the
we didn't
Misfits
actually go
podcast,
to a
yeah,
strip
I just
club in
want
Poland.
disclaimer. Also, if anyone knows that story, actually no, obviously, because if you already know the story, you would know not to. But if you want
Don't
if
say
you want a reason not to go to a Poland strip club, just watch the I guess the official first episode of the Misfits podcast.
they
Super like
title it number one.
yeah, they title it
It's
number 1, but it's like the
actually
second episode
two.
technically. It's like the pilot. It was their 0 episode. But just watch it. It's so like it's kind of a lengthy episode, but it's like wow. This it starts off kind of slow too, but once you get like halfway through, that story picks up so fast. It's like it's ridiculous. But anyway. Um
They like talk about being on a train and like being on the wrong train. They're high as fuck, and they're just like, "How do we get to the night
yeah,
train?"
they're
For
th-
40 minutes straight, and then
right.
you're like, "Okay, when does it actually start?"
And then it starts and you're like, "Oh my god, when does it
And
end?"
it starts, and you're just like, oh my god, it's starting." Okay, you're like Michael Scott from The Office.
Yeah.
It's like, "It's happening. Everybody stay calm."
and it's like the story keeps getting crazier and crazier and
Oh yeah.
just like worse, and like, how did we get here? Do you have 90 minutes? And it's like, what? And it just like, it's like, wow, this is a stupid story, and it's pretty, nice
If
to
you
watch, if we're being honest.
continue to listen to the Misfits podcast, several like tens of episodes later, like in episode 30 or something, they actually meet someone who had the same thing happen to them.
Wow. Oh,
Like
that's
one
right,
of
you
the
told me about
bankers
that.
at Wells Fargo or something. He was like, "Yeah, we went to a strip club in Poland and got ripped off." What? Yeah, Wells Fargo is cool, so that's a
All right,
plus.
well, I might have to, I might have to link the podcast that we're talking about in the description, because
You
that is,
probably should.
I should, because it's,
Misfits pay us. We're giving you
yeah,
clout. I'm kidding. I
yeah,
love you. Don't
yeah, we're giving you like
cancel
2 views, dude.
me.
Um, but yeah, that story is incredible, and it's when I think of like, not the perfect, but like an incredible podcast like story, that comes to mind so quickly.
That is the first story you think of, and you're just
That's
like,
the first story they told on
yes,
their podcast, and it's such a good way to start off like
such a
an
great.
incredible podcast. It's just wow. But yeah. Anyway, let's get back a little to where we were. Let's not go back to all the way to my vacation, but um, is there anything else like off the top of your head you can think of? Because I'm kind of drawing blanks right now.
I don't know. We just start a new topic. So, like, what are you gonna do if they start school back up? Like, are you gonna go to school?
Oh,
Are you gonna
right.
stay home? Are you gonna be like,
Well, I just want
no,
to.
fuck you guys?
This is kind of like, it kind of has to do it because it's like Rona based, but
Right.
um, the president, sorry, but he finally admitted to you needing to wear a mask and needing to do like social distancing. He finally admitted to it.
About time,
Yeah, I
dude.
know, right? Oh my god. But
Sorry if you're
the
Trump supporter,
yeah,
but like,
oops. But
what?
also oops. Um, but
But also, ooh,
yeah,
okay.
they. But anyway, if we're doing like, if we're going back to school, I'm obviously gonna be wearing a mask. I will go back to school. I want to
Dude, I
be able to
will
see my friends.
buy a hazmat suit.
True, if I have to, honestly. I bet I I was thinking they do it um like you have maybe like half the classes every other day. So like I have like my first half of what would usually be my schedule every other day. So I would have like
Mhm.
half the schedule this day. Then the next day I have online schooling for something, and then the next day I have this. But it's kind of, it would be confusing that way, honestly.
Yeah.
If I'm being completely honest,
The only
it's
problem I foresee is like the school's gonna have us do like a set amount of work. Like they have to have this amount of work
oh
done or
right,
whatever.
yeah,
And that's just gonna be stressful because, well, okay, one, I don't think my mom's gonna let me go to school, even if I wanted to.
right.
Like
I
she's so
completely
paranoid.
understand that too.
I
Yeah,
Yeah, I understand that. The last day of school, March 13th, when like I didn't show up, I was like, yeah, no, my mom probably has the virus. She had a fever, she had all the symptoms or whatever.
yikes.
That's why I didn't show up, and I was like, oh well, cool. Uh, bye guys.
um, but yeah, that was one hell of a hectic day, man. When everyone was like, yeah, we're not coming back to school until this time, and then that time hit, and they were like, ooh,
And they were
yeah,
like,
sorry, I
oh,
meant like the rest of the year.
I
It's like,
meant like next
whatever,
Christmas.
right? Um, but yeah, that was a very interesting day. That that whole spiel, the way they announced it was a little annoying though. They just had like a phone call come through or whatever. It's like, wow, real classy. Um,
Hog.
but yeah, I think the whole like your mom not like like her not wanting you to go back. I completely understand that. Like I think people like give moms like shit all the time for being overprotective, but also that's their kid, man.
Exactly.
Like you can't like you can't give a mom
You
shit for
can't just
wanting to
be like,
protect their
yeah, no,
child.
I'm gonna go let my kid be with a bunch of other sick kids and probably get bat virus.
Right, exactly. It's like how can you like
As a parent, you don't do that.
yeah, that's just like a like the only way that I think I would ever uh let my kid go back is if they require on every single kid you have hand sanitizer and you wear a mask. And
Really.
like it's gonna be crazy because they're gonna have to like
Staying 6 feet apart is going to be the hardest part.
yeah, because then that's why I
Especially
suggested
so
like
with buses. So like
right
300 out of the 500 of the kids who go to our school go on the bus.
right
What are they going to do about that? Because one, the kids are literally sitting in the seats. Two, there's a set amount of seats, and there's a lot more kids than there are
right
seats. Like the buses are packed still. Like there's 3 kids to a seat that's meant to fit 2.
right, and the whole like 6 feet apart thing, which was why I thought maybe like half the classes every day or every other day, because then you could have half the kids in the classroom and maybe you have enough space to do 6 feet apart.
Right.
But it's
What
just like
what I think Governor Cuomo said is they're going to start using like the gyms for class space or something.
oh okay, that's a little weird.
It's like we have a giant gym, so like we
Yeah,
could definitely do that. But
especially for
still,
our minuscule school.
what I what I foresee happening with that, still, even though we're 6 feet apart, it's still an enclosed space. There's still a bunch of people breathing,
Right.
coughing, sneezing. Even if you breathe, you're still exhaling particles. And
Right.
if you have any trace of the virus in your system, you're going to be exhaling
That
virus particles.
exactly. It's a very complicated thing. I think they should honestly, until a vaccine comes out,
Do
I say,
online schooling.
I
I
say,
don't
I
care.
say online schooling. Yeah,
Nice, legendary.
I would. Yeah, I know, right? I
I'm going
would
to get one
rather
right
just,
now. Watch.
I would rather just zero risk, man.
Oh, dude.
Pog, only rare. Um, yeah. um, but I just think it's too like, I guess risky now.
Too
Like,
much of a risk. Yeah, it
yeah,
is. Especially New York.
right.
Like, New York, in our county alone, there was like 7 new cases over the weekend or something,
Wow.
and that's a lot, especially
For
for
our
our.
smallish area.
I saw a post on Facebook, and it was like, yeah, the cases in each of the countries, and it was like, um, China obviously went up 0. They're not releasing anything.
Right, of course.
Um, Please don't attack me. I don't want to. I
Oops.
want to be alive. Okay,
Oops.
so it was like Mexico went up 400, Canada maybe 1,000, U.S. went up 500,000 cases in a month.
I'm saving a not an argument, but a little like a tidbit that has very obviously like extremely similar to do with that for the political one.
Okay.
I already I'm a little not I don't know what the word is, but it's like I should have saved my political comment earlier for the thing with Jake, because Jake, by the way, I don't know if I'm pretty sure I mentioned it, but Jake did not in fact go missing. He's just on a family trip or whatever,
He
and
didn't get kidnapped.
yeah, he'll be back like next weekend. And this podcast is getting recorded over the or over the weekdays because the weekend schedule got scuffed, and it's like we just couldn't.
Because we don't have schedules.
We don't really have a schedule. We wanted to do it on like a Saturday. It didn't work out. It's whatever, honestly. As long as we get it out like once a week, I would try to do. Then it's fine.
Yeah, once a week is a good number, or
Yeah,
like good amount.
I would like to do every Saturday if we can, because then it's like the end of that week, and then the beginning of the next week starts. So it's just like you can get it
Hmm.
out within the week. It's really easy, but um, that's kind of the plan I want to have go forward. And I know Jake is really excited to do political podcasts, so he'll be very willing to not show up on the next one, but to do it. So he'll be the one reminding us for sure.
Right.
Um, but yeah, it's just the whole like Corona and going back to school thing is just like I don't, not that I don't trust it. I don't. It's not that I think we can't do it. I just don't want to have the risk of it not
There's
being
too
able
much
to
of a
be done.
risk right now,
Right.
especially that cases are still going up.
Right.
Like if we had peaked and we were like gradually going down like a
Yeah.
thousand less a day or something, cool. Maybe delay school for 2 months or something, but
Right.
still.
Well, like Ari, for people who don't know, who whom he is, just a friend that we talked to. Also, he's definitely watching this. Hi, Ari. Um, he already has like a math packet due as of recording this, like it's due tomorrow, and school like is obviously not even close to starting uh if you're watching this anywhere around the time of it being uploaded. It's like ridiculous because his math teacher like assigned it like, and he assigned two math packets like due on the same day, and they're like tomorrow or something. And it's ridiculous, but like I say if they're already doing things like that, why can't they just make it so that it's like either we start early and we get like a good portion of the unit over with. Um,
Right.
it's yours. It wasn't even legendary, so it's fine. Um, but it like why if they're gonna do stuff early like that, then maybe they should do it subject by subject. So it's not
Yeah.
like all at a time sort of thing.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think that's a good idea. Like, for 2 months, it's like math, and then for
right,
another 2 months, it's like social studies and science or English or something.
right. I never noticed that by the way, but I think that's one of the reasons why school can be so stressful because you're like your brain is switching from subject to subject every time you leave a classroom.
Yeah.
And it's like your brain isn't like built to do that, but I
Your
bet
brain.
I,
Yeah,
I bet
exactly.
over the like obviously already over the years of doing like public schooling, but like over like the next like I'm gonna say like 20 years, I bet humans will be really good at switching from subject to subject.
Yeah, they
Great,
definitely will be.
like like a not comment. Trying to
Because, like, I want to say,
topic
like, back in
wise,
the old days or something, but, like, back in, like, the 50s and 60s, kids would go to school and they would do, like, math, English, and science. That's it.
right?
They wouldn't learn, like, oh, yeah, there was a fire in Russia and, like,
Also,
Vladimir
also,
Lenin led a bourgeoisie.
also learn Spanish because that's gonna be useful.
It's going to be
America,
useful for the 0 times you go to Spain.
exactly. Wake up, sheeple. If I go to Florida, I'm definitely gonna need it. That's the only reason I'm ever learning it because I'm gonna go like I have family down in the southern part of America, so I'm probably gonna go down there and interact with people who are of Spanish speaking descent. So
Right.
it'd be useful to have that skill at least for like common words and things like that. But um what were we on? We were on
COVID-19.
there we go. I was about to say you're gonna have to help me out with that, but the whole like that's I think why it's like I said, school can be so stressful because you're constantly like switching and your brain is having to keep up, and it's like oh my god, I was just doing geometry, now I have to do like now I have to remember my history on Russia, and the revolution
Exactly.
is coming, and this test is coming up, and then at the end of the year all the tests get piled up into one big test, and it's like oh great,
Hmm.
this is fun. This is fun. This is real great. Um, but that's just kind of it. But and by the way that this game works is that after we already saw the portal at one point, it's the celestial portal. It shows up and it takes us to an end where
It'll
we can
show up again here.
where we KMS, and that's the end of the game. Um,
We can do it here just to end the podcast.
yeah. The second is this the end one?
It should be. It's stage 3, or it's the
It's the yeah. This is the second time we've
end
seen this.
3.
This yeah. I see the blue orb there. Um, but also, I just want to mention because I'm pretty sure you and Ari talked. You said you guys talked about it before we got on, but the release update for this 1.0 will actually have a final
Oh yeah.
boss in it.
Yeah, I'm interested on, like, it says there's like the final place is gonna be the moon.
Yeah, that's
I
cool.
do I want to know what they're gonna do with that because, like, is the moon gonna be like where the open is, like you have a choice to go there,
Yeah,
or is it gonna be like you go there after like 10 or 11 rounds or something?
right.
Because I really want to see that because
Also, I
that
get
would make that would make like streamers like Wooly and other people stream the game.
other people who
That would
like this
make
who
their
stream this
life
game.
like
Just want to mention that.
boring. It'd be too repetitive. Like they wouldn't be able to do god runs and get like 30 plus rounds or
Right.
whatever.
But then
They would be stuck getting.
I would really hope it's a choice to go to the moon.
It better be.
If it's not, then it's a little unfortunate. It would just be kind of like constantly like running through and just
Hmm.
keep getting like proc chain builds and stuff like that. But
Like this game is satisfying. If you just watch their
oh yeah,
health bar deplete right there, oh yes.
it's so good. Whenever you play the game, it's really fun. We're on drizzle mode, so it's kind of just brainless, and we're also doing like a thing where you get to choose what item comes out. So it's like as
It's
long as
kind
you
of broken,
choose, yeah.
overpowered.
If you just choose like the right like first like maybe like 4 items, it's just a
You're set.
instant win.
You're set.
So, um, but we wanted that so that the podcast wouldn't be like us worrying about like what items we were gonna get and all that. So, um,
Right.
but like when you do this on like max difficulty and you get it like a good run, it's so satisfying. It's so nice to just be able to like plow through enemies like you're a snow plow and all the monsters are
Hmm.
snowflakes on the ground. Um,
Damon, stand still quick.
stand still.
My character shoots at a relatively slow rate until you get a build up, and then
Oh
he's
my
a
god.
literal minigun. And look, I'm
He's just a
exploding the
laser
side of the
beam.
mountain.
Uh, a laser beam. I said by the way, not laser beam. I'm incredible.
Laser beam.
Laser beam. We'll probably end up playing a lot of this game maybe for background whenever it's just like maybe we'll do like every other episode where it's like maybe it'll just be me and you this episode and the next episode it'll be
Yeah.
like me, Jake, Devin, all of us, and then it'll be another like just chill us two kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um,
Do they have this game? No, they don't have this game.
they don't have this game, but we'll have them talking in the background.
Okay.
Um, but the podcast will be over in the next couple minutes.
Soon.
It's like
We
very
have to do
soon.
something first.
We have to get across this gap, which is notorious for being just a pain right in the butt. Because
Also,
unless you're artificial like me, you can just float across.
you're forgetting about something.
Hmm? What am I forgetting
I
about?
don't think we're gonna be obliterating. I think we're gonna be going to somewhere else.
Oh, are we? Did you get? Wait, did you? Oh, you did the thing. Oh my god. Okay.
That's the thing. Look at
Oh
this dude.
man. All
This is
right,
gonna
this
be a fight and
absolute
a half,
chunk.
Damon.
Yeah, this is. Oh my god, he has the shield only mode.
This is gonna be a fight.
If we don't keep hitting him, he's gonna keep regenerating that health, that shield. I mean. Oh my god, this really is a fight and a half. What legendary items do you think he has?
Everything.
Oh my god, he has that one where. Oh wait, no, that doesn't matter. It's kills increase. This is Drizzle
Okay,
mode. This is honestly Drizzle mode, so this is really easy.
I did this on Monsoon on accident
Ow.
because I picked up Beads of Fealty on accident,
Yeah, it's
and
lunar
it was
items.
hell and a half.
How many lunar coins do you have, by the way?
112.
All right, I have 88, so that's a fair enough. But how do we get out of here? I've never been here before.
Yes. I don't know if you can see it. It just fades to dark,
Oh really?
and it says our fate is unknown.
So we just get left here,
It counts as obliterating.
right? But like
Yeah.
the actual thing is that we just get left here.
Pretty much.
That's
Look at
depressing.
the damage.
So then wait. Do we become the scavenger? Not do we become the scavenger, but do we become the person who is left at the end for the next person to come along and kill?
What I'm guessing is since we're here, maybe we could become like one of the monsters.
Oh yeah, because
I only
it is
say
like the
that.
lunar area. It is like a lunar area, so it could like just be anything really.
I only say that because I'm a Kingdom Hearts nerd, and when someone dies, their heart goes to Kingdom Hearts, and if they were
Oh,
too
okay.
full of darkness, they become heartless. Thing. Anyways, podcast was dope.
All right. Well, that will be it for now. I will hopefully get to the editing of this really soon. Like, hopefully
Like
instantly.
tonight.
All right. Well, yeah. I really
Right.
want to get this out tonight, but that's gonna be it, boys. I hope everyone who is watching enjoyed the podcast, and we'll see you.
If you're listening to this before you go to sleep and
Yep.
you made it this far, sweet dreams, good night.
Also, go to bed.
Yeah,
You mad lad?
that's a bad time.
Um,
Bad time. Bad time. Cool. I
yeah.
still can't
Also,
talk.
here, hey, actually, no. Hey, how about this? How about this? Wake up. Wake up. You know you want to. Just wake up. It's not worth it. It's not worth going to sleep. You know you don't
Hey,
want to.
wake up. Hey, wake up.
Just do it. Just do
You're
it.
thirsty. Now you're breathing manually. Now that I said it, you think about it.
Oh my
Now
god.
you can feel your teeth in your mouth.
Oh, stop. No, I'm blinking, breathing, feeling my teeth. I wonder what my tongue tastes like all at the same time. Dylan is the worst. Alright, that'll be it for the
That's the
podcast,
title. That's
everybody.
the title. Dylan is the worst person.
Alright, everybody.
Everyone, have a good night,
Yep.
morning, whatever.
Goodbye.
Do good. See you guys later.
Alright, I'll cut it there.
I just want to point out how I fucking carried you in that.
Oh,
Damage dealt over 9 million.
okay, listen, dude. That was a pretty good podcast, I'm not gonna lie.
That was really good.
That was really fun.
That was,
I'm
yeah,
gonna I'm gonna go to Ari.
package.
I'm gonna go to Ari. Yeah, the package. That was a really good fucking podcast story. Was explaining that movie. I'm going into the general voice channel for podcast and shiz.
hmm
Yo, buddy.
YOLO.
Yep, yep.
Alright, so I'm the fucking worst person ever.